Good morning, everybody, and welcome to episode 127 of the Dumb Marks podcast. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Doing good.
Doing good?
Real good. Mm-hmm. Yourself?
Doing good. I didn't get to drink my Irish coffee yesterday, so I got some Irish coffee right here for me for the show today, so things could get interesting.
Already drinking.
I'll take a sip.
So was it officially St. Patrick's Day?
Yesterday.
Oh, yesterday? Okay.
Yesterday was, yeah.
Yeah. When I was at work, I was like, why is everybody wearing green? You know, don't even come over my head. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Just the people in the store, the people at work.
Everybody.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you're used to just seeing red, so for more than one reason, but well, good morning, everybody. Steve should be joining us. He's having some technical difficulties. Hopefully, he'll be joining us shortly. What's going on, guys? You got anything before we start the show?
I seen it initially, thought it was a shot at me, because that's the first comment ever.
Nah, I don't have anything.
Yeah, honestly, pretty uneventful week for me. I've just been so busy with work and stuff lately. I just not a whole lot going on in my week other than that. So I did finally see Creed 2 yesterday, so I'm caught up on Creed 1 and 2. So now I can actually go see Creed 3. Very good.
See?
Definitely going to go see Creed 3 in the theater.
We told you the one dragging your feet.
There's a lot of movies I drag my feet on. Many movies that I've watched, there's still so many that I've never seen. So
I can't tell you the last movie I watched in full. So.
Yeah. So, hey, whenever you want to see Creed 3, let me know. I'll tag along.
Definitely.
You know, stops me from seeing Scream 6 again.
You still just at 2?
I'm at 2, but man, I was about to go 3.
That's
I never did a movie 3 times before.
I did.
Even on the world tour.
I did whenever Happy Gilmore came out in the 90s. I think I saw that like every weekend for like a month. Just,
really?
Yeah, just something to do, you know.
Yeah.
It was a funny movie. You with us?
What up?
There you go.
There you go.
Little mic check problem this morning. I guess they ain't want me coming in hot to start off the pod, but I'm here. I'm live. I made it back.
Very good.
Shut everything down, unplug, reconnect. You know, I guess it's good to disconnect from the world sometimes. But Jay, you look like crap.
Damn.
That's every Saturday, man.
It was a good movie, Ty. It was a good movie.
All right. How we doing? How we living? We good? 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. Busy week in pro wrestling. Screen 1 through 4. I heard this last screen was pretty good. I'm not gonna go to the theaters to see it, but I did hear it was decent.
Donald's getting his ticket punched multiple times for seeing the movie. So
yeah,
pause. That's what she said. Why don't you?
I've seen Scream 1. That's it.
But are you signed up to the AMC Lowe's has like a movie club membership?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's what my cousin signed up for that. He's like, or you get so many movies free per month that you can go to, and whatever else, advance tickets, all that jazz. So
you don't have that, right, Donald?
No, I don't have that. It was just out the blue. Was like, man, this was good. I have to see it again.
Donald has a movie theater less than a minute away from him, so he just goes now.
It's actually not that.
The man came up. I don't want to see that, and then like I want to see it.
When I have nothing to do, it's just like, oh damn, well, might as well go.
All right. Well, shout out to everybody that made it through St. Patrick's Day yesterday. Hopefully, you had some car bombs, little Jameson, a beer or two. Enjoy yourself. Chris is still picking up from last night, so Is that like a hangover shake that you're trying to drink right now, or is that another beer?
No, it's Irish coffee.
Oh, there you go. Good man. Good man. I ran out of Jameson, so all I got is Bailey's right now, and I can't do the Irish coffee without having the Jameson there to add in. So I'm just drinking regular coffee this morning. But
Bailey's
all
works
right.
too.
Yeah.
I wish I could say I could still go that hard, but no. Ric Flair at his age definitely can go a lot harder than I can at 38.
Well, you need to step your game up. That's all that means. So.
Nah, I'm good.
All right. Well, we done enough BSing around to start the show. Let's get into it. Bell to bell, Mount Rushmore, Jabroni. Let's crack it. Let's go. All right. Hot and heavy on the road to WrestleMania. Like I said, some stuff came together last night. Little formation. The road to night 1 and night 2 at Mania became a lot clearer. States, yeah.
Cocaine Chris.
Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, so we got the road to Mania, night 1, night 2 cleared up last night. Truth be told, I did not watch any wrestling on Thursday or Friday live. It's March Madness. Sorry about it. My favorite time of the year, my favorite 2 days of the year. Shout out YouTube TV for that.
Oh, that is nice.
It's tremendous. It was in my glory. We just talked about that. The last part of the pod before that, that split screen where you could flip back and forth. I was just out there hopping from one box to the next. It was tremendous.
Amazing.
Yeah. One box to the next. Yes. Pause. It's a good pause right there. Good pause right there. All right. So where we want to go? Who wants to start it off? Mount Rushmore this week. Let's go. Some positivity. I know we got a few jabronis, and there may be some other things to bring up as far as dislikes go for the week that was, but I see a lot of stuff from a lot of promotions right now going on. Everybody's kind of gearing towards Mania weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a lot of stuff in a lot of places, but who wants to kick it off? Where you want to start at as far as Mount Rushmore for this week in pro wrestling?
Who wants to kick it off?
I'll do. There was 5 things that I really liked this week, and it was hard to hard to break it down to one. Okay. Probably somebody's going to bring up the one from Wednesday, so I won't bring that up. I'll let somebody else bring that up. But yesterday, Hobbs and Rey Fenix, they had a very, very good match. And I was glad to see young talent being featured on TV. And it was something better than seeing Jericho, Elite, Hangman, Moxley. I mean, it was really, really good match.
So I know it was last night, so I'll have to go back and watch that.
Yeah. I did. I read up on that this morning, and I did have time because I was up early as hell. I did have time to go in and watch that match from last night, just based off of what I saw reaction-wise. And really glad Hobbs got a clean win. That's a good step in the right direction for his title run. The QTV stuff, we can kind of touch base on that if we want.
On Wednesday.
But I tell you what, man, I think between Rey Fenix and Ricochet, I'm not sure who takes better bumps, but those two are pretty much at the top of the selling list for me.
Yeah,
like they make moves seem so much more impactful, and it don't even got to be a power move per se, but just everything they do in the ring, the way they bump around. They put a shining star on a pile of dog crap because they bump their asses off every single time they're in the ring. But that just made that match much more enjoyable for me. And as much as I love the Lucha Brothers together, Penta and Phoenix both can be single stars at the top of your card.
Yes,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like we saw it in Lucha Underground. They've been that way in AAA. Like there's no reason why you can't have them at some point, each get a singles run here in AEW or ROH, depending on what happens. But
Penta was Impact champion too, right?
yes, he was. Yep.
Such a troll.
You would see that's how some of the booking would go, depending on what parts of the internet you're looking at. But no, Hobbs and Phoenix was on my checklist. So I'm glad you brought that up. That was definitely one of the highlights for the week, just based off of what it did to get Hobbs off running in the right direction and
the right direction, everything correct.
Yeah, give my flowers to Phoenix because he scares the bejesus out of me every time he's in the ring. But I think that's just how good he is and like
he performs.
The way his So him and Ricochet, I'm not sure who you would put above them two. Gable is another one that I can think of that really sells stuff.
Ziggler,
I mean, back in the day, back in the day for sure. But now, it's hard to sell when you get a 2-minute TV match. It's watched by
every couple months.
Yeah. So, but no, that's not a bad choice.
Not at all. We'll continue.
Since you brought up the.
Okay.
Go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, if we're going to talking about young talent, we might as well continue on. And mine was the Four Pillars this week on AEW. Finally, actually surprised that they were actually utilizing all four of them. That caught me off guard. Wasn't expecting that, and was glad to see all four of them in the ring and get a decent moment.
That was definitely on mine, but I didn't want to bring it up because I knew somebody was going to bring it up.
Yeah. I think
the show as a whole was good to me. I enjoyed that the most this week, which is rare. I enjoyed AEW over the other shows as a whole.
I agree.
I think you had very strong starts to a lot of shows this week, right? You had the Four Pillars. I love how they started it with the bar mitzvah. That was tremendous.
Entertainment.
Entertainment for sure. But utilizing them the way that they did, and everybody got their moment to shine on the microphone. I thought Darby was the strongest out of the pillars that came out besides MJF. I thought Darby was the strongest. Sammy was cutting a straight up babyface promo until he just jumped on the crowd and reeled them back in. I'm like, I cannot have sympathy for Sammy Guevara. Like, I'm not doing it. And then sure enough, as soon as I said that out loud, he dumped all over the crowd. And I'm like, oh, there's the heel.
I liked everything, all four of them, but that was the only complaint that I had was that Sammy was cutting that type of promo. It's just like whenever you actually have to reel them back in because you're cutting that type of promo, it's like that's not the right promo that you should be cutting then.
No, I actually enjoyed that for him.
I did enjoy it, and everything he said was true. So I can't knock it for that. But he had to pull it around and circle back up because it's hard to sympathize with him given where he's been at his entire run, pretty much.
Because I mean, this is what you want to see. Like they're the pillars, right? So I was thinking, like, what if they introduced them in some other order? What if they introduced Sammy first? And it had been dead, and then you had the other three or the other two come out, and then Pops. So I was like, how do you put that in the order where you realize we're getting the pillars and keep it all the same level?
Yeah, I thought the way that they brought everybody out was smart. As soon as you saw Sammy come out, I knew Darby was next, and the crowd knew Darby was next because you heard them cheering for him to come out. So once his music hit, that place popped.
They would have if they would have just done Jungle Boy coming out and it just been the two of them, I would have been happy with that too. But they went this direction, it just made it even better for me, I thought.
And I thought the shooting, the production of it even added to the presentation because they had the wide shot and they had MJF was in one corner, you had Jungle Boy diagonal across from him. Sammy came out, he went to a corner. It's like, oh, okay. Visually, I see the pillars. Like, not only are you telling me who's coming out, but whenever I look, I see the foundation. So I thought production-wise, it was a home run for them as well. with that segment. Like there was no doubt about that. I am curious to see where it goes and if we actually get a fatal 4-way at Double or Nothing and how they build to that place. Because you're often running like you got a fast start running the 40-yard dash. Your split was great. You're at like 1.7 for a D lineman. People were drafting you in the first round with that split off the blocks. Where do you go from here to continue to build to where I want to see a fatal 4-way?
And I think you just brought it up. I want to see it at Double or Nothing because after they left, the thing that bothered me was lately they haven't been tending to book long term. They've been hot-shotting stuff. And, there's going to be some sort of Dynamite special event coming up, I'm sure. And I don't want to see it on that. I want to see that saved for a pay-per-view. I will buy that pay-per-view for that.
Oh, that match alone has sold me on Double or Nothing if that's what they're doing. Whatever else is on the card is just icing on the cake for me.
Yeah.
Like you said, I'll kick up the $50 just for that match.
Yeah. And make sure they build up to it.
Exactly. Build it. Slow build. You got 2 months. Slow build it and make me earn that match. But don't just give it to me on Dynamite for free.
Darby and Jungle versus Sami and MJF.
Which at some point you could see that, but I don't know because of the way MJF presents himself. Like he said, we all may be the pillars, but I'm the one holding the house up. So yins are not on my level.
He ain't lying.
So and I was interested the way everybody was cutting their stuff. And when Max threw the Darby, you got Sting, Jungle Boy, you had Christian, Sammy, you got Jericho. I was waiting for somebody to throw the man that shall not be named on AEW. I was waiting for somebody to drop something in reference to Cody because that's where MJF started, right? Saw the turn and him and Cody had their thing, but I was waiting for it and it never got there, which I understand because you're not, as much as Cody will reference his friends and everything else on WWE programming, I don't think Tony's to a place where he'll let somebody drop Cody's name yet. Because
one name they won't.
I think he's still a scorned lover in the fact that he left. So
that and I don't think it's also the same, like with Sting and Christian and Jericho with those guys. That was a consistent for a long term. Where Cody, it wasn't the same way with MJF.
Do you think those three are ready to be in that spotlight as far as the main event picture goes? I know Darby and Sammy have had their run with the TNT title, and you can say what you will about each one of their runs. But I know we all want to see the Four Pillars, and Wednesday did a great night at setting it up. But if you take a step back and look at it, do you think they're ready to be put in this position?
Sammy, yes.
I was thinking Darby, but I was thinking to myself, do they have to be champions to be a pillar?
No. I don't think.
I didn't think so either. Because I don't see two of them as title holders, unless it's like TNT.
I could see Sammy being a champion, and maybe Jungle Boy down the road.
I can see Darby. I can't see. I mean, Jungle Boy got some work to go on his charisma and personality.
Yeah, I thought microphone wise, this was probably the best promo I've heard him cut as far as him like changing up tone and inflection and sounding different at different points in the promo where it just wasn't just some bland him talking straight through. Like,
and we talked about how long this stuff with him and Christian have gone on, and it's just nice to see something different for him at this point.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Fresh. I think that was the key word for a lot of what happened this week especially in AEW, you saw fresh matchups, fresh ideas, fresh storylines, which at this point is good considering you're going into your biggest pay-per-view of the year with Double or Nothing.
But Nate, like, I'm not that type of person that sits there and says that, you know, because you're a small guy or you're a big guy that you deserve to be in the title picture. Don't deserve to be in the title picture. As long as you can go, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
Big guy, small guy.
To me, you gotta have like something behind you, like something to warrant interest watching.
There's got to be that believability. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you get.
But my thing is like with Darby Allin, he doesn't need to talk.
No.
He's just that his character. He doesn't need to talk, so he can be a champ, and you won't have to worry about cutting promos.
Yeah, he's in the Jeff
Orange
Hardy
Cassidy.
Mm.
You know, he's in that Jeff Hardy vein, but I think he's better on the mic than Jeff was. You know.
Oh yeah.
Orange Cassidy's a champion, doesn't have to cut a promo or show the title, but he's a champion.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reaction for all three of them lets you know that if they go in this direction and do the Fatal 4-Way, even if MJF retains, which I'm fine with, that it's the right move because they all got the reaction they were supposed to get, and the crowd was eating it up. So in that sense, it's the right call to go that way. And honestly, if they didn't do this angle, I'm not sure who else you would run out there to go up against MJF right now. You really don't have nobody else built up. It's funny you say that, Time.
Where are we going to go with this?
real quick side. No, this is just because he brought up the size thing. My wife yesterday bought some big hoop earrings, and she bought two different sizes, and she was trying them in, and she's like, "Which ones do you like better?" And I'm like, "I don't know. They're freaking hoop earrings. Like, I don't know." She's like, "Well, these ones are a little bit too big," and I was like, "That's the first time you ever said that in your life." But yeah. So kudos to them.
It's fresh.
Works. It's fresh.
Finally.
And there's nobody else out there right now.
Good.
So
Steve, is yours in AEW?
Mine was not in AEW. So.
Okay, well, real quick, I want to throw out Stu Grayson. It's good to see my man back. My honorable mention.
Oh yeah, getting choked out by Moxley. Yeah, great to see him.
Play
your position. Play his role.
Hey,
and it's about to happen next week too. Play your role. Don't take more.
He shined. He did enough to earn, a second AEW All Elite graphic. So he's back in the fold.
Did he really ever deserve to get released?
No,
but from the comments that he said, I guess it was more him being like a hothead or taking things personally, where like him getting released and going away and coming back, like it was,
cooler heads prevail.
Yeah, like you reprimanding your teenage kid or whatever, you know what I mean? Like they had to sit down, think about it, whatever, came back, and now they're in a better spot, better place. Which is what I interpreted. Now that's just me reading and listening to what he said and wrote as far as tweets and whatnot. But I'm glad to see him back. I didn't, him and Evil Uno together, like it just
works.
It works. Yeah, like it works. Yeah. And I always liked his in-ring work. His moveset is tremendous. I think he's a completely underrated talent as far as bell-to-bell stuff goes. So, and it gives you another team, for a tag title run, or you can work stuff with a 6-man trios, 3-man wise. And now with how they tease the end of Dynamite, who knows where it's going to go. Obviously it looks like we're setting up the Elite versus the BCC, but you have that Dark Order storyline in the background to where I wouldn't mind seeing a Dark Order versus Elite and try to heat the Dark Order back up at some point in time.
So it's that time of year, isn't it, for blood and guts?
Yeah, we're getting to that, but I feel like that's more of a women's thing this year. At least they're presenting it like it's more of a women's thing.
Yeah.
We get two.
Had Rio run
you
out
don't
there
need
with
to.
a pipe.
I don't need to.
Yeah, they only.
Yeah, and I don't even know what type of pipe that Rio had. But
Yeah.
I just. And where is Sheeta?
She's still in Japan.
I have no idea. I have no clue. I haven't heard anything about her. Like nothing. I haven't seen anything anywhere. So
You think she would have to do something because she teamed with them?
that's what I mean. She was there in the beginning. So is this like you bring her in at the end and then you figure out alliances then? Like I don't know, but
How many are transitioning to Blood and Guts? 10 or 12?
it was 5-on-5 the last ones that they
5
did.
on 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you had the Pinnacle versus JAS.
Yeah.
And then you had the Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle.
Elite.
Or no, I'm thinking
A blood and guts. No, blood and guts.
yeah. So we'll see. No, my Mount Rushmore, and then we can sidebar and zigzag wherever we want to go. But my Mount Rushmore, the Days of Our Lives, Bloodline. We had the embrace last night. The reunion of the most complicated friendship in all of pro wrestling, that is Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I thought it was done very well. The setup, bringing Cody in, the tie, all loose ends, and make it make sense with the Cody and Sami stuff, the Cody and Owens, owing Owens a debt of gratitude because he's the one that set him up with the Bucks and had them look out for him whenever he left WWE, which is a shoot, not a work. So yeah, I just love everything about it. The Sammy Jay face off, Jay continues to be a superstar in this story.
Like you said, the engine. Like you said, the engine.
Yeah, the engine, man. The engine. Like, Sammy may be the one that's the horsepower that got you from 0 to 60 in 4 seconds flat. But that engine, if that's not in the car, it ain't going. And even whenever Sammy was saying, "You're not mad that I hit Roman with the chair, you're mad that you didn't do it first." And Jay's facials, whenever he said that, like it's even leaving doubt. Acknowledge, bro.
He's the final puzzle piece,
Which continues to bring up the question. And I see some people, wanting this and speaking about this more and more, that Roman should retain at Mania and Jay be the one to dethrone him. I don't think it goes that way. It's WrestleMania, night 2, fireworks going off, babyface, send the crowd home happy. But I would not be mad at that. And there's reasons behind it. So if Roman does retain, it's the self-doubt on Cody. It's like Roman said, you've never competed for this. You never even had a shot at this. Have you even held one of these? Like,
do you know what it is?
Do you know what it is? You're not ready for the main event. Like, as much as Cody has been on fire since he's come back, I feel like you may need a stumbling block or a speed bump to get in your way. You just come back in, have a banger matches trilogy with Seth Rollins. You go away from injury, come back, win the Rumble and the title. Don't know.
Isn't the injury his speed bump though?
It sounds Goldberg-ish.
You can look at the injury as a speed bump.
That's what I look at as the injury is his speed bump, and this is his redemption story now.
I don't think he was back long enough to make the injury play up that angle. Like when you look at the entirety, and I'm looking bird's eye view, right? 30,000 feet in the air looking down. It really is not the worst thing in the world to have Cody lose at Mania and do some other stuff to come back up. Like, the pop for Cody is still going to be there. Is it going to be bigger if he beats somebody else than Roman? I don't know. Like, and I still don't want to see Roman lose the titles. He to me, he's not there yet. I'm not tired of it. Chris, I know you've been over it for 2.5 years.
Could have seen him drop to a bunch of other people.
He's not boring with him.
But yeah, that was. I mean, that's my Mount Rushmore. I will say I am a little upset that they're not main eventing night one. Night one is going to be Rhea versus Charlotte. I
saw that online. Is that official? Like, have they WWE said that? Okay.
WWE, I don't know if they have, but everybody has all but confirmed it. And there was a lot of politicking, I guess, going on backstage to have that go on. And maybe it makes sense as you see, but
when has the Rumble winner not main event at WrestleMania?
That's why I'm okay with it being the main event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two Rumble winners, 2 main events.
Does it deserve a main event though? What they've done for them to, as far as the build to this match. To me,
I enjoyed last night, but I didn't
buy in until last night. Last night I bought in.
But it bought in as the match, or bought in as okay, you're main event in night one?
Both.
But I didn't buy into Rhea's I need to be a star.
Yes. Charlotte's was okay. Rhea's really exclamation it for me.
I thought the whole you're gonna fear me line, or however she said it, I'm gonna make you fear me, or something along those lines. Like that to me was like, okay, we hammered that in. But yeah, can't you have him go on first and still have the same reaction as if they were the main event?
Can you say that for the tag titles then?
You can have that anywhere. You can have that on Monday.
I just feel you have 9 months worth of build into Sami Zayn Bloodline. Well, 10 plus months now, because
that's not the end of the story.
So you don't think Mania at the end of night 2, the story is not going to be Cody, Sami, and Kevin all in the ring holding up belts?
I think
the story to me ends when the Bloodline falls.
Well, and
completely.
And I still think their story between Sami and Jay, I still think they're going to be a tag team later down the line somewhere.
To me, it ends with Roman and Jay. And I don't know why they threw out that stupid Hell in a Cell for Mania when you could have saved that for this match somewhere down the line.
Run it back.
Ended where it started.
Yeah. They probably will, though.
But that also goes back to hammer home the point at how good this Bloodline storyline is, because people wanted Sami to beat Roman. And then he had the match and it moved on, and it was all right. Cody's getting a shot. People were excited, and they had their face to face, and it sold you there. But then people will look at it and go, "Hey, Jay's the guy." You look at the story from the very beginning until now. Jay was the first domino to fall in line, and he's resented it ever since, because Jimmy was the one that actually made Jay say, "I quit." Like, so Jay should be the one. It's just they're not wrong in any direction that they go.
No.
Which is very hard to say about a WWE storyline because we haven't seen one done this well. It's where you have three options of three individuals who you want to see dethrone the champ. And I don't think you'd be mad at any one of the three if they actually do beat the champ.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was my Mount Rushmore there. So we got the Bloodline reunion, KO and Sami, Hobbs and Rey Fenix, the Four Pillars.
Jason, you gave an honorable. What was yours?
Oh, my main one was just the NXT and the women's division. Just steadily building them up. Every week, like every week they just split it down the middle. You're going half and half. This many men, this many women.
Do you like the angle that they're doing for Stand and Deliver with Roxanne? Because there's conflict. Like nobody is able to really like say work or shoot at this point.
Yeah.
And I know Donald's favorite line on this podcast is "It's all at work," but I mean,
it's got to be. Why would you take the title off of her if she's not injured? Like, why would you?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it is a work and they end up having Roxanne in this ladder match and she retains,
don't have her in this match.
Like, I think people will sour on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's the line of the show.
But like I said last week, and after they, kind of vacated the title this week, I was like, that smile line, it's coming. I can feel it now. A couple weeks, she'll be back. And
I also, since you brought up NXT, Jay, I also this week hammered home even more that there's just some talents that should remain in NXT. And for me, Johnny Gargano is one of those talents. He just fits everything about it. Like, and I think he's been such a staple there and such a foundation block or pillar, as you know, since we were on Pillars this show. To like seeing him on the main roster, and he talked about it. I think it was on Busted Open. He talked about it where like people were complaining about his main roster run and everything else, and he was on the show saying, "Look, I don't have equity on the main roster." And we talked about this before, like how many people that watch Raw and SmackDown actually watch NXT.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I don't have equity on the main roster yet. I'm not. Yeah, I got a pop here, pop there, whatever, but as far as people getting behind me and believing in me like they do on NXT, I don't have that timing. I don't have that working yet. And they really haven't done anything with him on the main roster to get people to start to buy in.
Yeah.
I mean, years ago, he's the one that said that he didn't want to leave NXT either. Him and Ciampa.
Yep.
They were okay with staying in NXT and building that brand.
And then this stuff takes time.
It does.
To build stars. I mean, it's not overnight.
But you got to do stuff with talent too.
Yeah, they didn't do it.
Yeah, you have to give people a reason to buy into them. And if you
just
have them coming out as enhancement talent, sometimes it is what it is.
I know the situation and circumstances are completely different, and this is definitely an apples to oranges comparison for what I'm about to say. But because Gargano was released and brought back and everything else, or left and took time off and was making up his mind, but you look at like Kevin Owens debuted on the main roster and immediately took out John Cena, right? Like Sami Zayn came up for a U.S. title match, and even though he tore his shoulder to shreds doing the celebration before he got in the ring, John Cena showed up, showed out, and people were immediately hooked on Sami Zayn. On the flip side of that coin, you look at everybody else that has pretty much come up, and it's been crickets based off of what they've done. So, not saying that this is 6 degrees of John Cena and he's the reason why those two were over right away, but just looking at the debut itself, you immediately make them important based off of who they're in the ring against whether it's in a promo or a match segment. So
that's what makes it fun to play that what if game, not the actual game that we play, but like we always said, Triple H did so much with these talents in NXT. What if he was running the show on the main roster too? What like how would those talents have been? If he was running both, connecting all the dots back in the day too.
Yeah.
Anywhere Trunks. Nobody with Trunks is over.
I will double down on the comment that we made last week on the show that Dominic Mysterio absolutely has to take Rey out on stage while he's giving his Hall of Fame speech.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
Can they stop with the?
Absolutely. To get them to have the match, that is the tip. That's the yeah.
It's a Hall of Fame. That doesn't need to be.
As
doesn't
Donald
need to be
said,
a work.
As Donald said, it's all the work.
We're added in there.
We've never seen it.
It's a wrestling Hall of Fame. You think it's prestigious? Come on now. It's part of the act.
Speaking of the Hall of Fame, it's rumored that there's only going to be 5 Hall of Famers this year.
Good.
The class is going to be kept short.
They can cut that down to 3.
We already have 2. We have Rey Mysterio and the Great Muta. So congrats to Muta.
Yeah.
Ric Flair made that announcement.
Go ahead and make time for who?
Rey and Dominic.
Rumor is that Batista will not be going in this year.
I saw that.
Based on his Hollywood schedule, he's supposed to be in New Zealand or Australia filming the week of Mania. So
that would have been perfect time to do it again.
Yeah, in LA.
So is he in yet? Or like is he officially, what was it, the class of 2020 he was supposed to be in, or 2021? It's like
2020.
Is he in, or is this like he doesn't officially get in until like
I didn't hear him give a speech. I didn't hear him give a speech.
He's out.
So the speech is the win.
Hey, you got it.
Okay.
He's camped out in the parking lot outside of the WWE Hall of Fame facility. He's just waiting for the doors to open and him to actually walk into the building. Throw him the heater, Ricky. Yeah. So, but I'm not mad at a shorter class.
No.
I don't know who the other individuals were. I heard rumors Stacy Keibler was going to be one.
Too. I'm okay with that.
So yeah. But yeah, so there's your Mount Rushmore for the week. Jabroni of the week. I'm going to go right off, and this is just going to tie back into the internet wrestling community and internet wrestling fans in general. You dumb marks that got all up in arms and upset and wanting to riot over the Bellas changing their name to the Garcia twins, which is their actual last name, because they're no longer with WWE, can all kick rocks and flip-flops. You're the reason why people don't like the internet wrestling community. That you get that upset and that up in arms over that. I saw people tweeting him like, that's a stupid last name. Why would you pick Garcia? And it's like, yo, are you that big of a mark?
Yep. Yep.
There's not something to complain about.
At least it gets them off my TV.
Well, I'm not mad at that. But yeah, it was that, and then just the random booking of fatal 4-way tag matches to get more people on the card for WrestleMania because everybody got to get on the show.
I did like they had that showcase match. They should have more of those matches to get in and just stop throwing random storylines on Mania.
Me and Dawn were talking about this offline a couple weeks ago, and I said, you have that 2 hour. I don't know if it'll be a 2-hour pre-show again for WrestleMania this year, but the past couple of years it's been 2-hour pre-show. It's like everybody needs a payday. Just do the old school battle royal like they used to, on the pre-show. Everybody,
Andre the Giant.
Yeah, just do that on there and do one night men's, the next night women's, and then you got it. Then just focus on your matches for WrestleMania. You don't need these fatal 4-ways for no reason.
Yeah. But yeah, those are my 2 jabronis this week. from wrestling. So
one is a QT TV.
see, no.
No.
I agree with
Get out of
you.
here. I don't say QT. It's not QT TV. It's having Hobbs paired with QT TV. This is like the opposite of Judgment Day. It's like a serious gimmick with a goofy guy. This is a goofy gimmick with a serious guy. This is top
Will's world, bitch. Like, what are you talking about?
No. This is top model stuff. It can be funny off to the side. Don't have
this is
Oro Batista, boy.
Yeah, this is the Truman Show meets Die Hard. It was like
QT's teeth are still bothering me.
Was it funny? Yeah.
What's fun?
Does it need to be paired with Hobbs? No. Come on.
No, Hobbs don't need to be in there, but that was funny. That was entertaining.
So my jabroni is the pairing.
No.
okay.
Not QT TV.
All right.
I'm a sucker for a good stupid gimmick.
I thought it was hilarious. Like immediately, like when they first put up the little graphic, like the host of QTV do not represent the owner, blah, 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 you know, the little comment that they put up, and then they flashed into the TMZ setup, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be tremendous. Like, and I was hooked. I was. And that's the first time I ever cared about Aaron Solo in my life. Like, he was fantastic. Like the peppermint spray. I was like, oh, this. I actually buy into Aaron Solo right now.
They were like, somebody broke into Warlord's car, and he broke in and turned around like, hey, he never uses this.
What do you say? He left the car open.
Yeah, after he smashed the window,
Yeah.
the door's unlocked. Well, why didn't you connect that first? Smashed in the window. Worst burglar in the world. But, yeah, if they keep it to that, and they
just real easy.
Yeah, they weave in and out and make it like a TMZ prank type of situation and Practical Jokers, then there's a place for that on the card just because it's Baskin Robbins 31 flavors and
it's called Dark.
You're right.
And they don't have to do it every week. You don't have to do it every
no.
week.
I don't know
But
how you could.
This has the potential. Like, I know people were. To me, I look at this the same way I looked at like the Fashion Files. Like, it's not supposed to get over. It's not supposed to be good. But if the people doing it are entertaining,
yeah,
it's gonna suck me in. And that's exactly what Fashion Files did with Breeze and Dango. And that turned into them almost becoming tag team champs. I'm not saying that QT and Aaron Solo are going to parlay this into a tag team title run. But you could be entertaining and be on the show and you fit a role, and I'm okay with that.
You never know with TK.
Just take out Hobbs and throw the big dude back in.
Nick
Camarada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Donald, is yours wrestling related or?
Yeah, both of mine are wrestling related.
Right,
I could go with that. Yeah.
Go ahead, yeah.
I have two of them. The first one was Dynamite cutting the black too soon when Hangman turned around.
Got to time the show a little bit better.
Oh man, Dad be pissed. I was like, come on, man, really? Had me hooked. And then just a general one. WWE not getting me excited for WrestleMania at all so far. It's real mundane, real plain. I mean, just the only thing I'm excited for so far is Cody and Roman.
But you're excited.
That's the only thing. But everything else is just like, I mean, there's 2 weeks to go, but it's just like, I'm not excited. Like normally back then, WrestleMania, like after Rumble, it's kicked in. It's like, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. It's just like, just going down the level. Like I'm not ready for this.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm not even excited about Cody Roman. I'm more excited about Sami, Kevin, and the Usos. I'm about that match.
What I know you brought up the jabroni for the cutting the black and not getting the full turnaround of Hangman seeing the Elite, but which which reunion do you think was better, KO and Sami or Hangman and the Elite?
Had we actually seen the full reunion on AEW?
And maybe they did it that way to leave the cliffhanger. Like, what happened?
They showed it online.
See, there they go again. Like Tony Khan. Oh no, Eddie Kingston. It's all to work. He didn't actually quit. Like, dumbass.
Brother showed on BTE.
And that's my problem with that, because people were online afterwards like, this is the greatest story ever, and it's like, what story? They haven't told anything on television.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not watching BTE every single week, then that turnaround into the three of them, and somebody, I forget who it was on Twitter, and I forgot to bookmark it to give them credit, so I do apologize, but somebody put up the still shot of Hangman and Omega and the Bucks whenever like they split and they were in the ring, and then Wednesday night, and everybody was literally standing in the same position in the same spots in the ring. Like, it was deja vu, eerie, but kind of, everything's a flat circle, comes back around whole again situation. But yeah,
how does a whole ass brawl sprawl out into a ring? A whole faction brawl. Hangman had no reason to get in the ring.
It's what AEW does, man.
He went to higher ground.
Wasn't that the old WCW, ending chaos? Everybody brawling out from the back to the ring.
It was AEW every week in the beginning.
For the longest time.
You want to see that on All Access? What happened? I don't know. KO's. It was like Dawn. I need another week. Like Dawn with Sammy and Jay.
Yeah, like when they hugged yesterday, it did nothing for me. It made the crowd pop, but I was just like, whatever.
And it spoiled me online because I fell asleep on SmackDown and saw a clip or saw Steel online that he came back. So I missed the initial reaction.
They're pumped.
Well, I'm supposed to have somebody come into the house to do some stuff. So hold on one second. I'm gonna mute myself. Hold on. Keep going. I'm gonna mute.
All right. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna bring up Sammy and KO. It was just like, it's been known for so long that they were gonna get back together. So when it actually happened, I was just like, it did nothing. It didn't.
The story was kind of, I just want a friend.
It's just
that was kind of, I didn't care for that.
I'm just more into Sammy and Jay more than anything.
Yeah,
it is.
That's the story that has me entertained more than.
It's like, that's the nucleus of everything is Sammy and Jay.
Mm.
Like I'm hoping this week, because I know Roman's going to be on Raw this week, so I'm hoping we see a little bit more movement. We're at the end, here. We got to give me a reason to buy into this main event.
And that's another thing, too, about WrestleMania not getting me hyped. Where's Roman at? You never seen Stone Cold and The Rock when they were main event and take weeks off. Where is he?
We had the same conversation with Brock.
Yep. I'm like, if you're main event in Mania and it's getting close, you have to be there.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be missing both shows.
Yeah.
Like,
if you're only like, hey, I'm doing SmackDown the whole run. That's cool. Yeah. You ain't missing Raw and SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, champion of both, but only on one show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I know like it's an attraction thing, but just how Brock was, just bring him in, get him pumped up. But no, if you're the main event in Mania, you have to be there.
Yeah, if you're the guy. If it was Roman challenging as the attraction, okay, that might be a different story.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as the guy, I 100% agree. He should be once a week. I can understand not being on Raw and SmackDown, like you guys said, but
yeah.
And like nothing from his perspective either. Not even Wise Man out there giving you something.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, yeah. At least Paul was on Raw this week.
It's like, damn, you could do that
segment. Yeah.
It's like you could do it via satellite.
Or pre-tape.
You don't want to put out those.
If they did a pre-tape, you wouldn't know it if it's just backstage.
Yeah.
You know, like all it is you would just think that he's backstage.
I believe half that stuff when they're just sitting around in the back is pre-taped.
Probably is. So you wouldn't know when they do it, you know, as long as they just showed into the show like it's.
They're just watching a black screen and then they just put it up.
Is Roman turning into the money's already in the pocket?
What did Savage say? Hot dogging and grandstanding.
I'm gonna go home and watch some.
You're gonna go home. Where you at?
I'll go watch that whole build up, Savage and Hogan.
So good back in the days too. All right.
Did you give yours?
No, I'll go ahead and give mine now. So mine, it's my jabroni of the week, but I'm gonna preface this with it's because I'm a hater. That's why this is gonna be my jabroni of the week. Ryan Reynolds this week sold Mint Mobile to T-Mobile for $1.35 billion. Why am I a hater on this? Because without T-Mobile originally, there is no Mint Mobile. All Mint Mobile is a SIM card service because all that they use are T-Mobile's towers, which T-Mobile doesn't even own towers. They use AT&T and Verizon's towers. So without T-Mobile's network, there is no Mint Mobile to begin with. All they are is SIM card and customer service, and yet T-Mobile still buys them for $1.35 billion for using what they already own.
That's what they bought themselves, basically.
Yeah. Just like all they did was acquire customers. That's really all that they did. Yeah.
Did Ryan Reynolds just buy that like last year or something?
A couple years. Yeah.
Okay.
It a business strategy because he's
right. Yeah. It's like I can't be angry at it, but
didn't he just sell his alcohol?
The man is like a business raider, boy.
He gonna sell a soccer team next.
Exactly. People will buy that. They definitely buy that.
Especially because he's been making it popular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why do I need to make movies? I'm just doing this.
Yeah.
I think
I'm flipping things.
Honestly, I don't know if this is true, but this is just me saying it. He became friends with The Rock and he started investing in shit. Just like I think The Rock just showed him what to do. Yeah.
That's
yes. But yeah, I saw that. I was like, I never understood why it's a service. You know, like why you like I get it's cheaper, so I can get why people do it. But like I never understood why it's a service whenever they offer nothing. Yeah. So it's like I can't. It's my jabroni of the week because I'm a hater, but like it's good business. So yeah. Welcome back.
Yeah, so the that 12-4 time frame on when it was supposed to be shown up and done, right at 12. So
the first place on
number one on the list. Number one on the list. So, all right, Chris, who was your jabroni? You don't got to recap it for me, just real quick, so I know.
And I said it's strictly because I'm a hater. Ryan Reynolds selling Mint Mobile for $1.35 billion.
You're just log off the show yourself. We can finish up. Like that's the worst. That's the biggest hate movie I think I've ever seen. All right. Well, that's it.
Nope.
Jabroni of the week, Mount Rushmore of the week. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Let us know who you got as your Mount Rushmore and Jabroni of the week in pro wrestling. Next week, I want to get into some stuff next week around Mania itself, all the other shows that are going on, kind of the events and everything, because there's a lot of cards that are shaping up, and there's one in particular that I think is going to steal the weekend based on the matches that have been announced so far. So, little tease, looking forward to next week's show. And with that being said, if nobody got anything else right now in pro wrestling, let's get into final thoughts.
No, we got a game.
Oh yeah, that's right. I almost forgot about the game. Look at me wrapping up the show quickly. Pushberry release.
Yeah, so it's my week, and I picked the Pushberry release. I picked 3 of the greatest Intercontinental champions who never became WWE champion. So I picked Ravishing Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect, and Razor Ramon.
So Rick Rude was the ultimate bad guy. Like, I hated Rick Rude, given my age and time of these 3 men in wrestling. Hated Rick Rude. I didn't truly appreciate Mr. Perfect for what he was in wrestling until I got a little bit older in wrestling and understood things a little bit better. And Razor was one of my all-time favorites. That character, that gimmick, just the charisma, the music, like everything about it. Like, people download the wrestling entrance themes on their phones now and whatnot and everything else like that. When that Razor Ramon music hits,
that was a good thing.
Still, just, and I think everybody walked out and did the Razor Ramon too. You know what I mean? Like
everybody but Jason.
Yeah,
he did it once.
The fact that Scott Hall made everybody think that he was Cuban was just that much more icing on the cake. So with that, I'm pushing Razor. I'm gonna bury Rick Rude, and I hate even saying this, but I'm gonna release Mr. Perfect.
I am pushing Rick Rude. I am releasing Mr. Perfect because all he was just vignettes to me. Good vignettes, but that's all he was to me. Ooh. Didn't care about the person or in ring, nothing. And I'm burying Razor Ramon because I just want to see the man fail.
Wow.
I hated Razor Ramon.
Rest in peace. Yes. You are a horrible person.
I hated Razor Ramon the most, and I want to see him buried. Not shit.
Wow. This is...
There's the clip of the week.
Speaking ill of the dead. There you go, Jason. Good job.
Bro, you got to dig for this content. No.
God, unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on after that. Man, Mr. Perfect, his matches were incredible for him. Like him and Bret Hart, SummerSlam 91 in my top 10.
He carried Bret.
You just put NyQuil in the bottle. That's
that is one of my favorite matches of all time that I can go over and over and over and watch. Mr. Perfect had some great matches. Even I think it was SummerSlam 90, him and Texas Tornado too. I can go back and watch that one too. So Mr. Perfect for me, just no reason he was never champion. He's getting the push from me. He should have been champion at that point.
He's like Malone and Stockton. You played during the Jordan era. That was the Hogan era. He wasn't a big heel.
He was the
Hogan wasn't a work rate champion. So
that's why the IC title was the workhorse title back then. Because the guys the guys, were getting that belt, and that's where
he was in the pocket.
So from there, I mean, another one of my favorites, Razor Ramon. I'm gonna bury him just because I don't want to release him. Rick Rude, great heel. I appreciate him more now, but back in the day, was never a big Rick Rude fan, so he's gonna get the release for me.
The reason why I said bury Rick Rude is because 1, he had a damn near a perm. 2, the Tom Selleck Magnum PI mustache. And 3, the tights with his face on the crotch and just
or the tights with Jake's wife's face on the crotch.
Oh, that was tremendous. Yeah.
I hip swivel more than I did the Razor. And can we stop putting dead people on the push berry release list?
They're all dead.
I wasn't even thinking that. I was just thinking of, IC champions who weren't, champion. That was it from back then.
Or recently dead people.
But for me, I'm pushing Rick Rude. He was my favorite bad guy back during those years. I mean, if he didn't like me, hey, I'll just kiss your girlfriend. I'll kiss your wife. You ain't gonna do nothing about that. Real simple. Don't get mad at me. I mean, don't get mad at me because I look good. So he's getting the push. I'll have to bury Mr. Perfect because I'm not releasing him. I'm sorry. Probably for me, one of the best technical wrestlers ever. Better than Brett. I said it. Come at me. I don't care. And I'm sorry. I wasn't a Razor Ramon fan. He had great theme music, but he did nothing for me, so he had to get released.
All right,
I think his vignettes.
He was in WCW.
Oh man, I think his vignettes were better than what he performed in the ring.
All right, another edition of Pushberry Release. Who you got? Razor Ramon, Mr. Perfect, Rick Rude. Hit us up on social medias. Let us know. And now, with that being said, let's get into final thoughts.
I was ready for you to say, we'll see you around the way.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning into the Dumb Marks podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, please leave us a review on Spotify or wherever you listen to us. Make sure you tune in for One Gotta Go every Tuesday and Drink of the Week every Thursday on all our social media channels. And keep in touch in the comments, social media, or email us at dumbmarkspod@gmail.com. If you're watching this and you see our social media accounts on the screen right now, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment on our accounts at dumbmarkspod. For all the links and more, visit dumbmarkspod.com. And of course, we got to plug that merch. So head over to prowrestlingtees.com/dumbmarkspod to purchase our merch. And when you do, we will give you a shout out live on air. Gentlemen, anything else before we go?
I don't think so. Going through stuff now. I don't really have nothing else that caught my eye. Like I said, this week, I thought, even the other, MLW, Impact, Ring of Honor, they all had good shows this week. I thought this was MLW's best show since they've been back on reels. Setting up the showdown between Hammerstone and Jacob Fatu for the MLW World Heavyweight Championship again. Impact continues to just do quality stuff. They made a lot of shakeups as far as behind the scenes go with promotions and bringing people in and everything else. So it looks like they're gearing up to try to make themselves more relevant and hopefully get more eyes on the product.
I saw Scott D'Amore got promoted this week too.
Yeah. Ring of Honor. I'm not so much keen on the Kingston Claudio angle, but I thought their show was tremendous. And my honorable mention was going to be Wheeler Yuta calling out Shibata because those two in a pure rules match is going to be fantastic. So
It will be.
That's the match that is going to make me buy that event. But the Kingston in the main event makes me just want to cancel that out.
And again, I said it last week with my Mount Rushmore, Athena and Willow. Athena, again, formerly Ember Moon, just tremendous. She's knocking everything out the park. In ring, out of the ring, promos, character delivery, like she's just on fire right now. So
she needs more promo time in Ring of Honor. She's done, I think, one promo so far,
but it was a damn good promo.
Yeah, no, nothing.
So
I would like to see more. Since she's hot right now on the promos, I'd like to see more of that. Like I don't like this week. I forget the girl that she wrestled, but like I would have rather seen a promo instead of a match with her.
Yeah, and then also Taya Valkyrie. They did the swerve. If Taya didn't show up, that segment was going to be my jabroni of the week because they hyped it up. And I tweeted out live during the show. I said, "No disrespect, but who is this?" Like, So if Taya, didn't come out, that was going to be my Germani of the week. I thought debuting her in Canada was smart. The face-to-face got me ready to go. Taya is tremendous. I've loved her ever since Lucha Underground days, but she's been all over the world. Impact, AAA, has held gold everywhere. I think she's a huge get. I think WWE misused her whenever they had her in NXT, and then released her unceremoniously, so to speak.
So I heard that she dropped the Impact tag title. Is that true?
She did, and she got the All Elite graphics, so she is signed with them.
So what's going on with her and MLW then? Any word on that?
No, nothing on that. But MLW's tapings are done, so it may be that situation where you see her on MLW even though she's not there. And she did some dates with the NWA too, but I think she's all wrapped up there. I don't think that was like a contract in place. So
she's the champ in MLW, right?
Right now, yeah. So we'll see what goes on with that. But I think she's the one to beat Jade. You got to end the streak.
Yeah. Yes, you did.
And people were like, "Oh my God, she stole Jade's move. That's so disrespectful." I'm like, "No, dumbasses.
There was a reason for it.
Taya's had it first. Like, she's done it before Jade even came into wrestling. Like, so I got a feeling Smart Mark Sterling will get an injunction, a cease and desist filed for her not to use Jaded as a finisher. The road to Valhalla, as Taya likes to call it, and we'll see something else. But I'm excited to see her. She's one of my favorites. So get the belt off Jade, put it on Taya, fresh start, and let Jade, sharpen her tools, so to speak, and come back and actually get involved in some main women's title stuff, because the streak got to end.
If you only know her from NXT, you didn't see her at her best. So hopefully this gives her another audience to really showcase her talent with.
Yeah, I think she had 2 matches in NXT. Yeah. Like, the character was great. I thought she would have knocked that character out the park.
They
just never let her run with it. So, but yeah, that's it for me. Final thoughts wise. Anything else? We good?
Yeah, no.
Nope. All right. So we'll wrap up the show this week, as we always do, with a little quote of positivity to get you guys off and running whenever you start your Monday. With that being said, forgive your younger self, believe in your current self, create your future self. Forgive your younger self, believe in your current self, and create your future self. Thanks for tuning in each and every Saturday with your boys. Best brunch bunch in the business. We'll be back again live. Coming up on that time of year, folks. Podomania 3. Be ready. We got a lot of stuff lined up, mapping it out. We're going to be dropping announcements as we do it. We got a special little surprise set up too for the big show, Day 1 Mania. So tune in. You're not going to want to miss it. And until next time, I'm a Mark. You're a Mark. Tell him, Mark. Y'all can catch us around the way.